And now the big news, obviously, is they are going to give their chemical weapons. They never signed a treaty. They're legal and lawful. Israel has legal and lawful chemical weapons. They never signed a treaty either. That's in the news right now. Why does Israel have chemical weapons and didn't sign the treaty? And there's no reason you could say you can't have those. And it's like, well, they're allowed to, but Syria can't. And even if you don't like Assad, most people that don't like him don't even know the history of it and know that he's been trying to reform the country. The West is like, lower your guard and let us come in. Okay, I lowered my guard. Ha, you sucker. And we did that to Gaddafi. Shut him down and put al-Qaeda in charge. We took out our own guy in Egypt. We're putting al-Qaeda in charge. Now shut up. Then we can have al-Qaeda attack the West and take all our people's liberty while we destroy your cities. All al-Qaeda wants is money and to be able to rape women and chop heads off. They're just like us. They're after our own heart. They're sorcerers of death construction, and they are our children. That's the reality. The New World Order is in the New World Order business of killing sovereign countries and waging war against the innocent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, the 12th day of September 2013, and we are crossing into the tipping point. The event horizon. Can you feel it? I know you can. And they know you have that subconscious feeling of major change happening. So they want to tell you, that anxiety you're having, it's over al-Qaeda. And we're like, but you run al-Qaeda. You're right. That's not the threat now. It's the veterans and the gun owners and people that like George Washington and want to make the world a better place. That's an exact quote. Department of Defense training manual. Imagine being officers in the Army or the Marines and being taught George Washington wouldn't be welcome in today's Marine Corps, boy. George Washington wouldn't be welcome in today's Army. That is the founder of the U.S. Army. The first member of the U.S. Army. The man that started the country with the U.S. Army. And they dared, that is absolute blasphemy if you love this republic. These people are infidel defilers of our republic and are the enemy. Enemies, ancient enemies. I try not to act like this, folks. I just think about these murderers and everything they've done and how they must be dealt with. And the spirit of liberty, ladies and gentlemen, is rising. Can you not feel it? And at the same time, why are you getting so upset? This guy's crazy. Yeah, I just know all over Austin, Texas, babies are being born today where I live, and they're being injected on purpose with deadly vaccines that are giving them basically 20-point or more IQ reductions on the spot. I mean, that's attempted murder. And I shouldn't get upset. See, I can't use physical violence because they set it up in this stage of the game. They can beat us if we do that right now. So I'm savaging them with the First Amendment. And that is a weapon. That's why it comes first. I am using it as it was meant to be used with the sword of truth, viciously attacking the enemy and trying to get people out of their drug-induced, mind-poisoned comas, to realize that we're under attack and have the enemy overrunning us. And if we ever woke up, we outnumber them 1,000 to 1, and it's over. So I'm literally standing in your bedroom while you're in a coma, and the house is on fire, and the rafters are coming down, and my shirt's on fire, and I'm going, I got to get out of here. We either got to put this house out or get out of here. This is a red level emergency. And you're kind of opening your, get your nightcap on. You go, well, let's hit the crazy man. And you're even coughing because of the smoke of the New World Order. And I'm like, that's smoke, it's fire. That's a conspiracy theory. Nothing ever bad would happen. I am the madness of liberty responding to the madness of tyranny. Because true freedom is madness. You know, madness is associated with high IQ, with art, with moments of clarity. The globalists, they follow their dark flame of death and destruction. That is their madness. we have our madness, the animating contest of liberty that is so much greater and better if we'll only discover it. I said I'd go to your calls. We're going to them right now. Then Lou Rockwell's coming up, and then back to your phone calls. Putin has written a heartfelt letter to the American people to not start World War III and to take the chemical weapons out that were clearly a pretext and launched by al-Qaeda. And our media is saying, how dare you, scum? We will have war. We will have murder. We will have death. We are trendy. We are liberal. Peace prize, peace prize, peace prize. War is peace. And meanwhile, U.S. weapons are reaching Syrian rebels. That's in the Washington Post. Paul Watson has it all written up in detail on Infowars.com. Black jihadist flies flag over Christian town that they've destroyed and put the Catholics to death. So there you go. And the Pope is refusing Assad's calls and desperate pleas to save the Christian minority he's protected. Well, I'm not criticizing the Pope or anything. I just think that's up to Catholics to do that. But I really think people ought to be, if you're Catholic especially, they're murdering Catholics by the thousands every day over there. CIA begins delivering weapons to al-Qaeda in Syria. Kurt Nimmo wrote about that in detail beyond the Washington Post. David Petraeus ambushed, branded war criminal by protesters. That's up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Putin's letter to America. He actually just put it out, and the New York Times published it. But everybody's, oh, New York Times got it, New York Times got it. Prepare for tough times if your job has anything to do with real estate and mortgages. Another one, is this why Obama is so desperate for a nice little war? And Zero Hedge is reporting GLD ETF investors unable to get physical gold. That's because the market's been manipulated. Gold's a lot more than what they actually say it is in physical reality. And that manipulation is now coming to the surface like a cold sore. 9/11 Commission Chair, Director of Intelligence James Clapper should be indicted for perjury. Yeah, he publicly perjured himself. U.S. can't prove Bashar Assad provided chemical weapons to Syria. Washington Times, yeah, that's to say the least. Well, we have jihadis loading the chemical weapons on all these videos. Let's go to your phone calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. And then Obama, the demon frontman, the El Presidente of El Diablo, he has been caught lying. Oh, it turns out they have the command orders to persecute the real Tea Party. You know, the enemy, people that like George Washington. Let's talk to Ben in Missouri. You're on the air, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. It's a pleasure to speak with you again. It's the second time I've been on the air. I just wanted to, well, first of all, give a quick shout-out to the great people that I met on the overpass protest in Richmond Heights.
The terrorist thing where, they were going to ban you and arrested people who went and did it, but then the next week, 5 times more showed up there, so they backed off. And the same thing, they told the motorcyclists they couldn't go through D.C., so they just defied them. See how that works? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. So I just wanted to share a quick story with you and the listeners about, well, he doesn't seem like such a bad guy. He's a friend of mine. I don't want to say who he is, but I'm sure telling this story, if anybody who knows him is listening, will know who I'm speaking about. This is a guy who I play hockey with every Thursday night, and he's a really, really rich guy, talking like hundreds of millions of dollars, somebody who's bought and sold businesses.
Okay, he's nouveau riche. Tell me about him.
Well, I was talking to him, and I was having one of these moments when I was getting myself worked up about what's going on in the world today, and I said to him, let me just ask you straight up, because you've traveled, you've been tied in with everything. Is there an evil cabal of eugenicists who are trying to control the world, who are trying to take over the world, who want to kill us all? And he looked at me in the eye and he said, yes. And it was a mind-blowing moment. And so I took it one step further, because I was trying to figure out if I could get this guy to say no to anything. So I said to him, wow, that's crazy. So I said, have they literally sold their soul to the devil in order to get the power that they have? And he looked me in the eye and he said, yes. And I said, you know this beyond. He was like, yes. And I was like, but you don't even believe in, God, the devil, stuff like that. So he backtracked a little bit and said, well, because they're willing to do things that are of the devil, because they're willing to do things, because they're willing to build their business on the destruction of human life and You know, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Even if the devil isn't real, they have become the devil.
Exactly. They will do whatever it takes to enrich themselves, to get the power, because that's all they want. They're terrible people, and it was really shocking to me. It's kind of a thing where you'd have to, know the situation.
Hey, I've never talked to a high-powered person that didn't know all this stuff. I mean, you don't even get into an advanced program at MIT or the University of Texas unless you're brought in, they tell you. I mean, it's like, it's a cult, folks. There's a cult of scientific eugenicists that are almost in control of the world, and now that their plans coming into fruition, people are struggling. And people are waking up to it, and all I can say is thank God. More calls coming up, and Lou Rockwell. Stay with us. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com.